how to get a faster settlement after a motor vehicle accident. The first thing that helps you get a faster settlement is when the police come to the scene, they do their investigation, and they ticket the other driver. So what you can do is you'll usually get a little slip from the police that talks about the police report when you can get it. Go get yourself a copy of the police report, give that to the insurance company for the person that caused the accident, and that'll show them that the person they insure was ticketed for causing the accident, therefore they are at fault. So then their question becomes limited. It begins with who's at fault, and then what are the damages? And if you show them the ticket, then they pretty much know that the person they insure is at fault. So their investigation is now, well, how big a check do we have to write? So how do they know what size the check should be? Well, that depends on your injuries. So show them that you were injured. When you go to the hospital, doctor, whatever, you go get your medical records, and you want to provide those medical records and the bills to the insurance adjuster so they can say, aha, look, we've got information showing our guy was ticketed, so therefore at fault, and then we know what the medical damages are for the other person. So we've got at least idea of the medical part of the damages, but you're also entitled to pain and suffering, and then if there's any lost wages, things like that, you would be entitled to that too. So what happens? Well, this insurance adjuster is going to look at everything and probably make you an offer. Now, there are often different levels of insurance adjusters. You'll have an insurance adjuster that's handling that case at the beginning when something is not in litigation, when there's no lawyer involved. They're usually going to be very nice to you, and they usually have fairly low authority to resolve the case, meaning the amount of the check they can write is fairly low. Other times you have different adjusters in a lot of companies, and those adjusters work on cases that are in litigation. So that's when you file a lawsuit, it may switch from the lower level adjuster to a higher level adjuster that's more used to litigation, has more experience, and possibly has more settlement authority. Sometimes just having a lawyer might bump you up into a different level of adjuster, but it all depends from company to company. So what happens? They've got your police report that shows whose fault. They've got your medical records. You want to send them a letter telling them, hey, look, this shows your person's at fault. This shows how badly I was injured. And also tell me what your policy limits are, because depending on what state you're in, they may be required to, or they may not be required to disclose their policy limits. And also ask them what evidence they have of other insurance. Some people have a regular auto insurance policy, and they may get an umbrella policy on top of that, which is more insurance. So let's say your medical bills are $100,000, but somebody's got a lower level insurance policy. You want to make sure that they don't have any other additional insurance that could also cover your claim. And if they don't have enough insurance, one of the things that you can do with your own insurance policy is go buy that uninsured, underinsured motorist insurance. So what that means is if the other person doesn't have enough of an insurance policy to pay for all of your damage, then you make a claim against your own policy, and your own policy will pay the difference up to your policy limits. So if you give the insurance adjuster for the other side the information they need to demonstrate that the person they insure is at fault and to demonstrate what your damages are, you have a good opportunity to begin the negotiation process of getting a settlement earlier rather than later. If they don't have all of the information, they're going to say, we don't have all the information, we're going to keep investigating, and that's going to drag your case on and on and on. So it is in your best interest and your lawyer's best interest to provide them with the information that shows fault and for the information that shows your damages. And then you definitely need to do your due diligence and make sure there's no other insurance out there if your damages exceed the amount of the insurance policy.